Hello friends, welcome to JavaEE Servlet learning series. So now we are going to look at error handling. We are at part 1. First we will learn about what is a status code and how we can use status code to report the servlet status to the client browser. So we can use these status codes to report the server state to browser using setStatus and sendError functions. So if you see here, the status codes are categorized from 100 to 199, it's informational. Then 200 to 299, the code falls in this range and they denote a successful message. Then 300 to 399, redirectional status codes. There may be different reason, so that will be denoted by these between these numbers. Then 400 to 499 states file error or kind of incomplete status. That means when a server is processing the request, it encountered a file error, or the processing is half complete and the processing is not fully complete. So that's meant by incomplete. Then 500 to 599 states internal server error because of various reason there is a possibility of server internal error, so that will be denoted by 500 to 599. So we can send these status codes to the browser. So the HTTP serverless the response object can send these status information to web browser using two methods. One is sendError. So SC stands for these status codes. Or it can set the status also using the setStatus message. Function call. The same thing, setStatus status code. So as per the specification, we can use setStatus to set the status ranging from 2xx to 3xx. That means successful and redirectional, that we can specify using the setStatus message. We can communicate that to web browser using a setStatus message from our servlet. So the sendError message is for status code ranges, let's say 4xx to 5xx. That means the file error or incomplete status or server error status that we can send to the web browser as error using the sendError message. Now let us look at the demo. Now let us start Eclipse Neon. So previously we created 3 servlets. Now we will create the 4th one. So this is the example we are going to create here. So our HTML form will have two radio button. One is a status message and then error message. So once you select status, here, then you click submit. The servlet here will check the incoming message. Servlet will check the incoming request. So when the request is status, this will send a response with a setStatus message. So here we will use setStatus message and we will send a status code from the range either from 200 to 299 or 300 to 399. So we will send a status code. Then when you click the error message and click submit, then the request comes here. We will check what is this incoming radio button. So if the radio button checked is error message, then we will send a status code using the sendError message. So sendError message, then setStatus. So based on the status message and error message, we will examine these two functions. Now we will go back to our servlet. First, we will create a HTML file in this example. So this is for web module 2.1. So here we are using our web module 3.1. We will right click here and choose new HTML file. Then we will pick a name, error response.example. Then we will choose HTML5, then click finish. So inside the body, if you see, we have a form and the method is post, and it will post our the request to error demo servlet. Then here we have h3. After that we have two input control. The first input control is type is radio, then name we are giving it as error demo, and second radio also name we are giving it as error demo. That means these two radio button will act in one group. That means you can select only one among these two radio buttons. So ID we are giving it as status demo and error demo. What is important here is the name. So using this name we will retrieve the value. So in the previous example we saw how to tackle the form input inside the servlet processing methods. So the method can be service, BlueGate or doPost. There we can use the getParameter method to retrieve the content of the HTML form element. Alright, so the value here is status demo and here error demo. So this is a label that will get displayed along with the radio button, and this one is the value that will be that can be retrieved by the servlet. So the name and the value, these together forms the URL parameter in case of get. In case of post, these two participate in the request body. Alright, now our HTML is ready. We will go to server. We will start it, then we will publish. So first let me remove the servlet example from our previous demo. Now we will start the Wildfly server. Okay, so it started. Now we'll go to server, add and remove programs. This is Servlet 3.1. This is older version. So now we are making changes here in Servlet examples. So I'm adding it, click finish. And you can see that deployed servlet examples.var. That means our Wildfly server is ready. Now we will test it once. So here we have two radio button. One is a status demo and another one is error demo. Alright, now we will go ahead and create our servlet. So to create servlet, let's go to the package, or you can just right click here, choose new servlet. So if you do this way, then you have to specify the package name here. So that's why we are directly going to package, right clicking here, and we are asking to create servlet. That means we are telling Eclipse that we want to create a servlet on that particular package. So now we just name our servlet. So here I am naming it as error demo. Then I'm clicking next, next, and we will just override post. Then we will click finish here. So the servlet is ready now. Now I will do a cleanup and come back. I will pause the video for now. So this is our servlet. So first we need to get the form field data to our servlet. So here there is only one name inside the form, that means error demo. But the name is same, but the value will be different. So if user clicked the very first radio button, then value will be status demo, and if they click the second radio button, the value will be error demo. So first we will get the input from the form field control. Then after receiving the input, we will check the action is status demo or error demo. So this is what we want to check. So if it is status demo, we will check the setStatus function. Otherwise we will check the sendError function. Next, using the printWriter object, we form a HTML code. It's just a simple HTML body h1 status code set. Then these are all the closing tag. and we will import java.io. So now, just for a test purpose, we will set some status. So here we are setting response object we are using, and we are making call to set status. Then here we are setting the status code as SC partial content. SC stands for status code partial content, and you can see the code status is 206. So this is the status code we are setting to the browser, or we are setting the status code to the response object. So browser will come to know that the status code is a partial content load. So when user selected the error demo radio button, so the content is still same, but here instead of using setStatus, we are using the sendError. We are making call to sendError function, and we are setting the status code as SC internal server error. So this is also just for demo purpose. Here the content is actually not partially loaded, it is completely loaded, but just for testing purpose we are saying SC partial content, and there is no internal error here. Just for test purpose we are making use of sendError, and we are sending this just to see how browser behaves for these response codes. Let's clean once. Now we will republish the content. For that we will go to console and we will clear everything. Then we will ask for full publish. And in the console you can see that first it undeployed the servlet example var file, then it deployed it. So that means our changes will be there in the, our changes are published to the server. Now we can run. So now we have error demo in place, and we go to web content. We'll just copy this. Then we will open IE. First we will check the error demo, and if you look at our servlet code for error demo, we are sending error code as 500. So now status code we will check later. Let's go with error demo and we will click submit now. And you can see the website cannot display the page, and we are getting a HTTP 500. Why? Because that is the error code. Here we are sending 500. The website has programming error, so whatever in case of internal error we are getting that. Website you are visiting had a server problem which prevented the web page from displaying. So that's the message the browser is displaying. Actually here we bluffed the browser, so we are just testing it, but based on the status code browser will respond back like this. Alright, now let's go back. So now we will click status demo, we will click submit. So here we are seeing the status code set, and if you want to view the status code, usually the client-side scripting will get that status code from the HTTP header. From the response header we can get the status code. We need a JavaScript to know what status code is set by the servlet. So based on that status code, the HTML page can take further action using the client-side script. It can be a VB script or JavaScript. So if you want to see the status code, you can click F12 in the keyboard. Then refresh the page once. So ignore this. Let's go to network, then click on this servlet examples error demo we need. So we will refresh it once again. Okay. So the response is from error demo servlet example, and if you see result description, it is saying 206 partial content. And if you still want to see it, just click on this, and here in the headers you can see status code 206 partial content. So this is how you can see the status code which is set by the servlet. So these status codes are required for JavaScript to take a further action. So if there is any client source, the client side script, if it is running here, it will always look for this status code to know that the what action server had taken for the previous request. You can check the same in Chrome also. Let's quickly open this. Then right click, choose inspect or press F12. So at present we are in a network. Just reload this content. And here if you see there's error demo, click on this. And you can see the status code 206 partial content. So this is just the header information, response header we can call. So this is response header. So the status code is set here at the general header. All right. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.